Hello, everyone. We're live here at Epic Headquarters. I'm here with the Bearded Wonders.
Yes. Wonders. That's a good one, yeah.
I hope everybody's doing fine out there. We're probably going to have a pretty short show today.
Yep.
I'll talk slowly though, because the people who have just moved off of summertime over in the UK, they may not even know we're here.
Wait, so talking slowly.
It's not gonna. Yeah, I would have to slow for like an hour.
How does that help?
Give them some time to say, "Oh, wait."
I think she just said the UK was slow, but I'm not sure. We love you.
We hope all of the people on summertime have made it. I did that are not any longer on summertime. I did tweet it, and I did put it on Facebook. So hopefully they were like, oh yeah, they're not on the same time as we are. So hopefully you guys are all here. As far as news goes, we don't really have much of anything.
Halloween build, yo.
Well, I know. Yeah, but that's not the news.
That's a topic.
Owned Well Factions was last weekend.
I didn't get to see it.
Oh well, you will, because Paco has done a recap as far. Cool. I believe I did not see the video up on our YouTube page. So as soon as we have that video, we'll make sure I share it. Maybe next week we can go through it. Maybe we can have Paco or one of the guys from Owned Well give us a Skype in.
Yeah. And we should put it in Frag Center so that it has.
Yeah,
nice.
Definitely we should put it in Frag Center. But I heard it was an awesome time. I saw a lot of tweets about it. I tried to retweet everything. So yeah, so I hope you guys had a good time. We're looking to having more of those in the future.
Yep.
Giving these guys some prizes because they worked really hard at this, and we'll give you a recap on it as soon as we can, probably next week. Let's see here. Countermeasures.
Countermeasures, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have been asking, well, I'll let you say what it is.
Well,
first.
yes. So Zaccubus has been doing some really great stuff for us, and we kind of need more. There was a lot of guys who've been saying, I love the competitive play, but I get in the game and I just die, spawn, die. And so we're working on matchmaking and stuff like that and things to make the experience better. But in the meantime, Zaccubus has done these countermeasure videos that if somebody is shooting at you here's how you counter that. And
yeah, so we wanted him to do a very kind of deep analysis of competitive play, not just to do like a cast and say like, oh, this guy did this thing, but to like take a moment and pause and like break it down and say, why is he making this decision right now? Why is he using this weapon? Why is he using this specific strategy at this specific time? To try and teach people more of the kind of deeper aspects of competitive play. And so this is his first pass at that. And
as
pretty cool.
does, it was a great job. Can we take a look? Here we go.
Welcome to Countermeasure. This is where we have a closer look of in-game strategy, breaking it down and making it more manageable into those bite-sized chunks. This video is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to watch the full breakdown of Zol versus Fiayu, check out the video description for the links below, or click on the annotation at the end of this video. So you head to the sniper rifle area, pick up the vials, and now you've replenished your ammo. I wish you got that sniper rifle ammo a little bit earlier so you could have had a better fight at the 50. But I feel as if you should utilize this space more when you're out of control. Use it to pick more damage on your opponent. Positioning is key. Sometimes you don't have to have a shield belt if you can always hold the position where you always get the first hit in, or your opponent has to put himself in a position where you can do some damage to him. A lot of top players will rely more on positioning than necessarily armor controls at some point. I'll go into more description about that in a future lesson perhaps, but I feel as if you could utilize this space a little bit better. Like, you have one shot at him here onto Fiayu, but you should have had a couple more maybe, because he's still got a lot of distance to actually get into there to fight you properly. And I think you scarper a little bit too early, but you do set up a nice trap here onto the shock rifle because of this though. He's waiting to get the 100 armor, picks it up on 20, and you almost land a beautiful combo there, which would have like switched out the control straight away, and you'd have actually been in a better position to contest the next shield belt. But at the moment, my thinking is saying, okay, he's still in control. He's probably going to get the next shield belt. I want to get the 50 and I want to get the 100, and then I want to hold that top area and picket him and take away those shield belts again until I'm in a position where I can confront him more evenly. But this sort of mentality I don't think really enters into your brain that much. That sounds really cocky, but everybody has a unique style, and I guess this was yours. So you take the 50 here. Like I said, I would be thinking, you know, that 100 armor is coming up at the same time as the shield belt, so it's coming up at exactly 50. And you do a really brave move here. Like, you're not badly stacked, but if he just had the first shot in here, it would have been pretty much game over. And the only downside to this, or the upside for you, is that you actually managed to get the shield belt. But Fiayu does a big mistake because he was trying to think of how he should position himself for the fight when you jumped down, and he thought that if he goes down into the pit, he's going to take unnecessary damage. But in fact, that's kind of the opposite here, because the shield belt had already spawned. He should have initially dived in there and refreshed his shield belt and then just made an escape through the top, and there wouldn't have been much damage that you'd have been able to do to him, I don't think. But instead he kind of like pushes out thinking, okay, he won't suspect it, and then you launch that rocket sending him miles away, and that enables you to steal the belt, which is really nice. It's a great move, but you should be really thinking about playing for time and setting up better positional control rather than thinking, I need a shield belt here to save the game. There was no need for that at that point. There was no need to risk your entire game for that one moment, because if you got killed there, he would have had 3 minutes of complete he would have had about a minute and a half of complete control using that shield belt, because you'd have just sacrificed yourself and your weapons and all the weapons that have been picked up, and maybe you would have got a lucky 100 armor spawn, maybe you wouldn't, but you could have really done yourself in at that particular point of the game. Now, he's a little bit frustrated here after that scenario, and he just runs at you with the impact hammer. And here's another thing that I was questioning. It's like, you've just dived onto him when you have a significant less armor stack with no fear whatsoever, and now you're just like running away from him when he has the impact hammer out. Why? Get in his face at that particular point. You didn't need to run away. That was a free kill waiting to happen. But still, very interesting play nonetheless.
We did know that our mics were live.
So that was a quick snippet of Countermeasure, where we go into a little bit more depth and detail into in-game strategy. And if you want to watch the remaining video, which is about 26 minutes long, you can watch it on my YouTube channel by clicking
over the game, and that would be really
go into the YouTube description and click the links there. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and do all the socials and stuff. It really helps out. And anyways, guys, see you next time.
So, I mean, that was Zach's first attempt. I think it works very, very well.
Yeah, because there's the first time I looked at it, I wanted to jump into a game and try all the things out that I saw.
I would love to see Fiaru's reactions. Who was it, Fiaru and Zoe? I would love to see some of the reactions to that to kind of confirm or deny, like, oh, that's not what I was thinking, or oh, I just panicked at that moment. That's
I'm pretty sure Fiaru was just raging on. Yeah. I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just totally just kidding. He's awesome, and he's a great sport for letting Zaccubus do this. So.
Yeah, and I think it's very, very important for people to understand that there's more to Unreal Tournament than shooting people in the face and wearing a pretty hat, right? Like there is an extreme depth to the gameplay.
But I do like my pretty hat. Sorry.
I do too, but I mean there is an extreme depth to the gameplay. There's just kind of this middle ground where I feel like when you're learning the game and you're learning all the new weapons, it gets kind of overwhelming, and then you get into this groove of just shoot stuff. And a lot of people don't make that crossover into understanding like how all those weapons start to interact and play against each other.
And stuff like this really helps. I was actually playing on Saturday, I think, and it was the same thing where I was near the bottom of the scoreboard because there were a lot of really high skilled players, and
because you were playing in a public.
Yeah, some poor guy came in who just could not get a frag, and he said, "This is ridiculous." And I was able to be there, talk to him, and say,
nice.
"Here, go here, watch this. Go to UnrealTournament.com. There's all kinds of tutorials," because he loved UT, but he always just played, casually, and he was really thankful. But I just think of all the people who just jump in and like, that's it.
Well, it's one of those weird things, right? Like if you're one of the guys who played like 99 way back in the day, and then you haven't really been super involved, and then suddenly you start just playing the new UT, it's like everybody's skill across the board, just in gaming in
Yes.
general, has gotten much better. So
Yeah.
it's a really weird thing to have to deal with. So
Well, we always used to say that as developers, when you ship a game, there's about a week or two window in there where you can go in and just dominate and have this excellent time in the servers.
Yep.
And at that point, everybody else has already got
Yes.
more experience than you have. Like, it doesn't matter if you spent 2-3 years in development. Just in those 2 weeks, people will get enough play time to kind of play more and get more experience with the game than you ever had as a developer. And yeah, it's hard to keep up with that.
Yes, it's very hard. We're lucky though that we have some really high skilled players to keep us on our toes.
Yes.
It's nice to be able to go in and play on a weekend and actually be able to hold my own. Not do well, but at least hold my own. But unless we're playing Sniper Arena, then I do okay. So Halloween.
Halloween pencil,
That's my-
dancing pencil.
That's my little Halloween guy.
that's our old Kappa,
I
the old Kappa flag that we
The little
had.
mask,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we had a little update this week. We had a few issues with the Halloween build from last week.
Yeah, we pushed the Halloween build, the first one I think it was last week on Wednesday, right before the stream. We've since found a few issues that would be impacting some of our limited time seasonal content, so we rushed a new build out the door, hopefully to address some of those issues. The main one we were really after is there was a performance issue that appeared on Spooky Facing Worlds. After long periods of play, basically the pumpkins just were doing bad things on the.
Those evil pumpkins.
They
I
were
think
tricking
had
us in
minds
the
of
long
their-
term, yeah. So
I think they had minds of their own.
exactly. So we had to push another build out to you guys. All that stuff should be up now. I did release a very brief patch summary just because people were requesting, hey, what's the deal with the new patch? Why are we having to download the Halloween build again? What's going on? But yeah, it was just very few things. I think about sub 10 issues actually got addressed in it, and then we tested it quickly and then pushed it out. So
And I also wanted to clarify just there's been a few threads in the forums with people asking about what the Halloween content actually is. So there's the spooky version of Face, which has all kinds of fun stuff in it, including some pumpkins.
well, where those they were from
spread out
Infinity
all
Blade
over.
pumpkins, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are we borrowed from Infinity Blade.
The
So
holiday
thanks
helm.
to the chair team for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the pumpkins are split between the red team and the blue team. If you grab your teams, they act as health vials. If you hit the other enemy teams, they explode and make you fall down. You can also shoot them and make an explosion to kill people and make them drop the flag, whatever.
It's fun to play Face with 200 health running around and actually make it
Yes,
back and forth.
Face is actually playable now by non-snipers, which is kind of nice. And then there's a bunch of other stuff going on there as well. But if you gather 6,666 pumpkins, if you harvest them, which people have been doing, just nothing but running around and playing, you get a special mask that reacts. It at its base value, it looks kind of like just our base hockey mask, but it does all kinds of different things depending on if you're on various spree levels
Super
and
cool.
in the lead and all this other stuff. So it is much cooler than it looks. We never actually described what it was, which I thought was kind of sad, but it is much cooler than it looks when you just see, oh, look, I got a hockey mask, right?
Somebody's just like, oh, it's just got a pumpkin JPEG on it. It's
Yeah,
like, no,
no.
go get some killing sprees, go get the leader on the scoreboard, go get godlike, and
Yeah.
then check out all the really
Go get
awesome stuff
good.
it does. Yeah, get good, and then you get to finally witness how awesome it actually is.
And then there are also, go ahead.
One thing I guess everybody is saying, YouTube has dropped. Sorry about that. Twitch apparently is still live, so if you're checking us out, then just be sure to watch the Twitch stream. I guess YouTube is experiencing some issues on that end, so sorry about
Technical
that.
difficulties. And then when you kill someone on a epic, or does it also happen on the trusted?
Trusted,
Hubs?
the skulls.
Yeah.
Skulls can be configured to drop for trusted. So if you are running a trusted server and you'd like to drop skulls, just message me or Joe Wilcox, aka Dr. Sin, and we can get you set up to drop them.
Right.
But right now, all Epic hubs do by default drop skulls.
So
With standard
whenever
game
somebody dies, a skull falls, and then anybody can pick up that skull that falls. So you can actually harvest from other people's kills, which is nice.
Yeah. And just a reminder to standard rule sets only. So if you do set up a custom game in the custom tab, skulls will not be dropping there.
Yeah, and when you collect skulls, you'll unlock 3 different Halloween-colored beanies. They're just kind of placeholder art. But when you're in the lead, those beanies turn into pumpkin heads that do various things, again, when you're on sprees and all kinds of stuff. Cool. And we also, just for this build, set it up so that you could select the leader hats independently. So if you have like a helmet that you love and don't want to give up for an orange beanie, you can still wear that and then set the pumpkin or the hockey mask to be your leader hat while you're wearing the other thing. And then there are also the horns, which unlock
from the spooky stars.
From the challenges. That's right. So there's a new series of challenges that are specific just to Halloween, and it's what is it? So there's 5 of them. So it's what, 5, 10, 15. Mm-hmm. There's 3 different sets of horns, and those do various things when you're on sprees and all kinds of stuff that are leader hats. So you can wear your favorite mask and then have it switch to crazy animal horns or devil horns or whatever that do cool things. So there's a lot of content there. Go in, play. What's that?
Question of the day.
Which is?
Do we get to keep this stuff?
So we have gone back and forth about this a lot amongst the team of what you get to keep. You will for sure get to keep the hockey mask if you unlock that. The other stuff we're not sure about. So if I were you, I would treat it as seasonal content that will only be there for the next couple weeks and have fun with it while it's there.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you check out the release notes, there are very explicit things in there that are mentioned that if you get to this point and you unlock this thing, you will get to keep it. But we'll talk to Steve about the other stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk to Steve, and the only thing we can also say is pre-alpha.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, the whole point of this is that it's supposed to be a cool seasonal thing where you get to do things for a couple weeks that you wouldn't normally get.
Yeah. Well, we want to drive.
But the people who do invest hours of time into playing, we want to give them something that they can keep permanently. So the mask for sure will be that thing. The other stuff will probably just be seasonal, but we'll see.
Cool. Yeah, I don't want to see Santa hats in the middle of July. So.
Yeah. I don't know. The black pumpkin's kind of cool. I kind of like to.
Woobot in the chat said, collecting 5K skulls took forever. I hope that's a joke. No, the 5K skull one is one of the ones that you will get to keep. So
yes.
Don't fret if you have collected 5K skulls. So
what was really funny on Monday was who came in first? I can't remember who came in first and said, I tried to play this weekend on Spooky Face, but all anybody wanted to do was collect skulls.
Yeah. Collect skulls and harvest pumpkins.
Harvest pumpkins. And then Joe Wilcox comes in. He goes, "Tried to play this weekend, and nobody was collecting skulls and pumpkins." I was like, "You guys needed
Joe
to
yelled
trade
at me.
games."
We were playing on last Friday, and Sydney and I were doing nothing but harvesting pumpkins, and we were both on Joe's team, and we let him down, and he lost the match. And so he was very sad, but we didn't care because we both got like 1,000 pumpkins just out of that one match. So.
And just a note. The fail of the week once again, as Dr. said.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
I'm sure you didn't have a hand in that at all.
I did not have a hand.
I didn't have a hand in other than uploading it and sending it directly to Zaccubus.
I was like, Zaccubus, I have to show you this. I was kind of hoping I'd make the cool kill, but compared to the other ones,
eventually Joe will learn to use the impact hammer, and then it'll all be good. It's way too entertaining.
Well, he tried.
To
he
watch
tried 3 times. We only saw the 2. He actually had tried 3 times. He went up there. The 3rd time he made it with an extra hop, and that's when I got him. So yeah, that was awesome. That was probably my favorite play of the week. And also the first top 5, Liz from our UK office. She was the one who was killed in the in the top frag. So
nice.
2 of the UT girls from Epic
yes.
were in the video this week.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And then we do have a Halloween trailer. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh, do we?
I think we have the world premiere from
world premiere.
Yeah.
World premiere?
From Clint, who's
Boy,
actually
am I glad you said that.
our Shelly today. So he's operating the booth. He's also a video guy. So
he's not quite as cute as Shelly.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. Though.
Who is?
Fire it up whenever you're ready, Clint. Yay. Good stuff.
Very cool.
I love that so much. I actually did not see that. That was the first time I saw the final version. So this is going to go up on Facebook. On Facebook. Yeah, yes, Facebook. This will go up on YouTube and Facebook right away.
Cool.
Because it's just so cool. And this was done by Clint.
Thank you very much. Awesome job.
Yay.
There's
Get
the
that
thumb.
The Clint thumb.
Clint
Cool.
thumb. He did an excellent job. We have another video of his coming next week. That's really fun.
Oh,
on
really?
YouTube. Yeah. So yeah,
Nice.
and we might be giving. That means that we might be giving away some prizes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do for the contest yet, but yeah, make sure you watch next week because we're gonna give away something cool that people have been asking for.
Awesome.
So.
Interesting. You should have said that at the very end. But anyway.
Yeah, I know. I will. I'll say it again.
Treats.
Treats. Tricks and treats.
After we do the trick and treat. But thank you, Clint. I absolutely love that, and I will post it. And make sure you guys share it. You know, go to our Facebook page, like it. Go to YouTube, subscribe, like our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell all your friends to do the same thing. Get these views up because the more people that we have playing, the more resources we can get in the game and get it out there.
Make the game more
Make-
bigger, more
Make
better.
it more. We can just make it more. We have more from Victor.
Yay!
Victor,
Polyneutron.
yes, Polyneutron. We absolutely love what he does, and the artists especially love because he just shows off their work to no end. And a few weeks ago, we showed him some shots that he did from Titan Bass, and we have some more.
Oh, cool.
And they are absolutely amazing. So, cue it up, Clint.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great job. Woohoo! So here's the bridge. Look at this. He does a fantastic job. He explained that he does these at a higher res and then he reses them down to 4K, which is incredible. So what the artists love is the fact that you can see all their little textures that they do and everything. So they're just absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's go to the next one. So I love this shot. We have the little scar
Yeah, I love him
character
hiding in the shadows.
peeking it out of the shadows, and this just looks like an art shot. You know, this looks like he's like doing an ad for Oakley sunglasses or something. So I love this one. And here's another shot from where the water goes down. And the rock climbing scar. I mean, these are just so fantastic. He just comes up with these things and gets these incredible shots, and they're just so beautiful. And this is looking up inside the castle?
I think this is inside the sniper room.
Inside the sniper room.
Oh, rocket spawn.
Ah, there we go. So cool. And here's another one that I know Josh likes because you can see the texture on the wall.
Yeah, I actually thought this was really cool. It's just a nice. I mean, it's nothing but a wall, right? But it's
I know, it's just really cool though.
the
'cause
lighting and the
engine
texture
lighting,
and the color. It's just really nice.
and it makes a really nice desktop too. So.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
And this is another great
Oh, I
shot.
like
I
that
love
one.
the color in here. This is another great desktop. I added these all to my desktop rotation because they're so beautiful, and he does such a nice job. And the Enforcer looking way
He
cool.
loves them glasses.
I know. Like those shades. He's selling those Oakleys.
Those are Pete Nub glasses. That's what those are.
Yep.
He built those.
Yeah. Pete the Troll. But yeah, once again, thank you so much, Victor, for doing these. They're beautiful. His page is Lowcast92
I don't
on
know.
Flickr, I believe. Check it out. He's another one you should subscribe because, you know, as much as I hate to say it, he does other games too that are not Unreal Engine games, and he has some fantastic shots. I think from Forza.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, some
they're
really
just
cool
they're
car shots.
totally
You can get
incredible.
some crazy stuff from that
He
game, too.
does some really, really crazy stuff. And I remember a few years ago there was a guy who did some fantastic screenshots, and he wound up with, you know, the story on HuffPost about him and everything. Victor does stuff that is equivalent to his, if not better, in a lot of cases. So make sure you check out his stuff. I will post links when I do the story for this week's stream. And tomorrow on the Unreal Engine stream.
Wait, before you go there, I saw somebody had a very important question in the
Yes,
chat.
very important.
They said, when does pre-alpha season end?
Oh, that is important.
Originally, we had planned for it to end on the 31st.
Of this month.
Of this
October.
month, as in this weekend. However, we have decided to not do that. And I think we're going to talk more about that next week.
Okay.
But this is not your last weekend to get stuff. It will not go on forever. Absolutely not. But we saw that people weren't. We wanted people to have more time to actually get through and collect all of their unlocks. So we will be extending it, but we'll have more info on that later.
Okay, yeah, and we'll put that on the blog too, all the information about that. All right. What else did I say I was going to talk about at the end again?
That's it. You were talking about Unreal Engine. I
Okay.
just stopped you.
Right. So tomorrow on the Unreal Engine stream, they are going to talk about the Mega Jam and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
How did that turn out? I didn't see.
They got flooded.
They
But it
were
was
I
flooded
saw
with
we got
awesome
flooded.
stuff,
Yeah, I saw we
flooded
got
with
flooded.
amazing stuff. I'm not going to give anything
No
away.
spoilers.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess I shouldn't say. If they're doing it tomorrow, I shouldn't ask you how it
Yeah,
turned out,
but
right?
yeah, they've been working their butts off going through all the stuff, and so make sure you watch and say hi. And then don't forget summertime is over. Make sure you tune in an hour early and come say hi to Chance, and maybe Alex too. I think Alex will be here. so.
Probably.
And we will see you guys next week. Watch for a post tomorrow with all the information here, and watch today for that video that you can share with your friends. So have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next week.